Welcome back, investors and stock market traders. Jeff here with another video. Nikola stock is down about 5% today. This company has constant negative news flying at it. And guys, I think this stock is going much lower, okay? I have sit here and drawn out a timeline over the past 2 weeks just of news-related items that have happened, and I have literally run out of places to write in my notebook. It is just insane how out of control this soap opera with Nikola stock has gotten, and it seems like this company is now in an insurmountable position. It would really take something real to turn this stock story around. Back on the 12th and 13th, I published 2 videos talking about, is Nikola the biggest fraud in history? I'll have cards come up right now if you do want to go back and watch those first. So I'm going to kind of pick up where those 2 videos left off. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, and what I'm really going to try to attempt to do in this video is answer the question, is Nikola stock headed to $10 from here? Right now currently trading about $18.43, and there's what's crazy is that there's even more news flooding in now as I'm making this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got a lot of material to cover on Nikola stock. Before we do though, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video. I appreciate all the support, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Alright, let me go ahead and take a deep breath because we are going to be running some bases in this video. I'm going to try to hit the main points, guys. I will probably leave a couple of smaller, maybe more minor news articles out just to save time, but I do want to hit the main points and explain the stock movement over the past 1 month of trading. Right here, let's start on the 14th of September. That was the day after I published my last Nikola video. The stock was trading around $34 to $35 a share, seeing a lot of volatility start moving in. And of course, this was on the report that the SEC is probing allegations investors were deceived, okay? Now, also on this day too, you have to remember that Trevor Milton posted his public response to defend Nikola. Nikola's response to the Hindenburg report was perceived as extremely weak. They didn't answer a bunch of questions, and they basically admitted to fraud, but they used clever wording and they tried to dance around a lot of the questions to what I feel to deceive investors even more, okay? And so naturally, the stock did start trading down lower. As around here through the 15th to about the 18th, the stock did stay in between $32 and $35. Didn't really see a lot of movement here till the market opened again on the 21st, and that's where Nikola stock traded off from $34 all the way down here to around 26, 27 bucks, roughly a 35% loss in one day. And that is when, on the 21st, it was reported that Trevor Milton was going to be stepping down from the executive chairman position at Nikola. And Wedbush Securities came out and made a statement about it. We're going to actually hear a little bit more about Wedbush Securities here in just a few moments, but Trevor stepping down voluntarily at Nikola will be perceived by the street as a major near-term gut punch for the company's lofty EV ambitions, as he plays a key role strategically in driving the company's vision. While there will be a lot of worries on Wall Street around Trevor's departure, especially in light of the bear noise recently with the company, going forward, Nikola has a strong bench, and now it's all about execution. Now, this is interesting because at this time, you can see this small paragraph down here. Wedbush actually comes out and says, in a nutshell, Nikola is still a prove me stock, which I think everybody agrees on that. Speaks to why we are watching this from the sidelines with a neutral rating until we get more confidence in the EV and hydrogen fuel cell execution story over the next 12 to 18 months. So that come out on the 21st. And then the stock was trading around $27 to $28 here and actually made a small recovery up to $30 again, but once again got flattened again here on the 23rd. And the stock fell off a cliff again, going from $28 all the way down to around $18 and $19. So just 2 days after saying Nikola stock was neutral, Wedbush comes out and downgrades them to an underperform rating. in a new note posted after the market closed. And they mentioned, while we have watched this name from the sidelines, given our caution on the execution front, we now believe downside risk outweighs any positive news for the stock. They say, overall, we still believe the company's EV and hydrogen fuel cell ambitions are attainable in the semi-truck market, although we have serious concerns that the execution and timing of these ambitious goals stay on track over the coming years. I think that's what everybody unanimously is most speculative about, is Trevor Milton, once he stepped down as CEO of the company, what is going on there? That is a very scary feeling. If you are a long-term investor, like I've encouraged most people, get out of this position. Go ahead and take your loss now, and you can probably turn that into profit by going short on this company or simply buying some long-term put options. I have been trading in and out of Nikola put options. I took a very small loss on a long-term position. I've made more than my money back, and I'm currently holding put options right now. Especially the weeklies. Take a look at the weekly options. This stock has a lot of volatility, so on any big spike up, you can make some pretty quick cash. Now, beyond the Trevor Milton drama, Wedbush also thinks some of the eye-popping battery innovations coming out for Tesla throws a wrench in their ROI story around hydrogen fuel cell vehicles over the long term. So that's pretty big. In 2 days, Wedbush went from neutral to underperform. I also wanted to mention this, just a day after Trevor Milton's response to those allegations, Hindenburg actually come out and doubled down with a new attack against Nikola, okay? I thought this was very, very interesting. As for Hindenburg, the short-selling firm says in a new post today that Nikola failed to answer 43 of its 53 questions and calls the response from the zero-emission truck maker a tactic admission of securities fraud. Exactly the way I interpreted it as well, okay? I did not find there was any real defense in Nikola's statement. I felt like they were almost admitting to the company basically being worthless. And any investor that took that response from Nikola seriously should have sold their stock on the spot, without hesitation, simply because there is nothing in that report that tells you this is going to be a good long-term investment. Every single point that was made by Nikola was then counterattacked by Hindenburg. So really a game of cat and mouse here. Nikola is definitely taking it on the chin. And then, oh boy, it just keeps on piling up, okay? 2 women have come out and accused Nikola founder Trevor Milton of sexual assault. This was actually reported this morning around 8:30 a.m. before the market opened. Now, I'm not going to read every bit of this, guys. It does get pretty graphic, some of the details that they talk about in these allegations. Right now, this is just accusations. Nothing has been proved. But Nikola founder Trevor Milton has been formally accused of sexually assaulting 2 women, including his own cousin, okay? That's very disturbing. When they were teenagers years ago, a new report says. And like I said, guys, I'm not going to read every detail of this report because it does get a little bit graphic. Feel free to go to Google and look this story up yourself and read all about it. But basically, these allegations again just add to the swirl of controversy surrounding Trevor Milton and Nikola, okay? It's just another negative thing that comes out against the company. This guy's stress level must be sky high right now. I cannot even imagine what all he is going through. It must feel like hell on earth. And I bet you were willing to think, you know what, the bad news has to stop rolling in at some point, and you would be wrong. As a matter of fact, Nikola and GM were actually supposed to close their partnership deal tomorrow, and now it is up in the air if that is even going to happen, okay? In an email that was sent out by General Motors on Monday, it reads, "We are continuing our discussions with Nikola and will provide further details when appropriate or required. This deal was expected to close tomorrow on September 30th. Now it does appear things are going to be delayed." Now we compare that to a statement from last week from General Motors, which said it remained committed to the agreement as outlined on September 8th. The deal calls for GM to build the Nikola Badger pickup truck with its proprietary batteries and provide fuel cells for the Badger and Nikola semi-trucks. However, now that deal does not seem to be closing, and the stock has traded off even further today. And so there has been a definite shift in tone from General Motors. What I'm going to take from this, they're trying to buy themselves some time so they don't enter into a partnership, with Nikola. Now, how much long-term effect is it really going to have on the stock? Probably a little bit and not really a lot, because if it never really happened, then it was all hype anyway that pushed the stock up. But it could accelerate it downwards, okay? If it does come out that GM has pushed away from this deal completely, they want no part of Nikola, you could see the acceleration on the downside for Nikola move very, very rapidly. So for now, it is delayed, but it's not canceled, and Nikola stock is suffering as a result of that. So where do we go from here? The stock trading at $18.50 now, was about $18.45 while I started this video up. And I think from here, guys, you're going to see even more shorts, even more put options contracts come to the table wanting a piece of Nikola on the downside, simply because there is nothing positive coming out. There is too much stacked against them at this time. And let's face it, Nikola cannot really do anything to reverse all this in the short term. So in the short term, I'm talking maybe the next possible 3 weeks, maybe to about 3 months. Let's look at it from about 15 trading days to about 90 days, around 3 months. I think Nikola stock is going to trade itself down to $10 a share, and possibly a lot lower. Even here at the $18 mark, it still boasts about a $6.7 billion market cap. So if you were to cut that in half and say the stock trades down to $9 or $10, it still has about a $3.5 to $3.7 billion market cap. And so you have to think, even from that point, the stock is still very overvalued because they have no earnings and they don't make anything. If they lose the partnership with GM, this company is basically worthless. So go down to the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions with me. I always do like hearing that. I'm going to wrap up the video now. Thank you as always for watching, and have a great day.